What's up, guys? I'm gonna share and drive hands-free, not look at the camera, but I want to share with you guys my story with anxiety and health anxiety, how it started and how I got to where I am now, where I no longer am chained down by it. But when I was 12 years old, I was really into energy drinks, and I remember one time I had the bright idea of drinking a tall boy, which was like double or triple what I usually drank, while I was sitting down. Usually I would have them, while I was out and about, or maybe at a playground. At least I was like moving my body. But this time I was completely sitting down at my computer, and I decided to drink a tall boy of energy drink. And I remember my heart started beating uncontrollably, and I was so panicked. I mean, not long before that, my dad had passed away from heart issues, and even sooner, my grandpa had also passed away from heart issues. So there's usually a trigger somewhere. If you're listening and you struggle with health anxiety or anxiety, there's usually a correlation that fear stems from. Either something happened in close proximity to you in your family, or maybe you just have anxiety from an event that happened, and it turns into these symptoms that make you think something is wrong with you. And you go to the doctor and they say, hey, you're good, nothing's wrong, like you pass all the physical tests, and you're just left wondering. For me, it was the opposite. I didn't want to go to the doctor. So I've seen those extremes where people either want to go to the doctor or they don't want to go to the doctor because they're afraid of hearing bad news. For me, that was my case. I didn't want to go to the doctor because I didn't want to receive any bad news. And all that to basically say, at those 12 years old, when my heart starts beating uncontrollably, I never kind of felt the same after that. I would always kind of check my heart. It always felt like it was beating faster than it should. I guess it was just like a trigger for like constant anxiety after that, from that event of maybe drinking too much caffeine while I was sitting down. But all that to say, fast forward into my teenage years, I never had a panic attack, but I have my first panic attack while I'm working my job that I had gotten in fast food, probably a few months in. Lack of sleep, more responsibility, less time to go out and have fun and be out in the sun. Like, I was probably just more stressed and eating more fast food, more junk food, because it was readily available to me. I was drinking more soda, caffeine, because it was free. And I remember during a dinner rush, it was very busy, and sometimes you're burning yourself in the kitchen and the orders keep piling in, and bam, I had a panic attack. And I remember for like a set of weeks or like a month or two, I would have like random panic attacks like kick in out of nowhere. I would be sitting down and eating, and I would like get kind of dizzy and have a panic attack. And I remember telling my mom, I'm struggling with these anxiety attacks. Luckily, she had experience with anxiety as well herself, and she had shared with me how prayer had always helped her. So she shared a prayer with me and had it written down so that I can pray it every night. And now today, I'm a devoted Christian. I do believe there's a lot of importance in our spiritual walk with God that has to do with anxiety. And at the time, all I remember is I started praying, and at least those anxiety attacks went away. But I always had a lingering anxiety of, oh, what if something's actually wrong with me? My heart still kind of beats fast sometimes. I just noticed I was more sensitive, right? So I always kind of had a little bit of anxiety. Like, I just knew I wasn't eating the healthiest. Sometimes I'd eat fast food, high school student, college student. And I always wonder, like, what if I completely switched around? Like, what if I really found the cure, right? Or like, something's wrong with me and I gotta find like a natural cure, because I don't want to go to the doctors. Like, I'm afraid of getting bad news, so I want to do it myself. And I just remember being in college, not knowing what I wanted to do, kind of trying it out. So I decided to move back home because I'm paying all this money to be in college and I don't know what I want to do. And I continued to experiment with spirituality, yoga, veganism, vegetarian, and I start to like get some progress, right? I start to understand, oh, there's a connection between, you know, like our purpose in life and what we put in our, you know, in our bodies, like whether it's food or whether it's topical, like everything has an effect. And you know, I start making some progress, but in some ways it's unhealthy because I start trying like extreme things, like extreme diet changes, and some of it's beneficial, but other of it, like I noticed it had some negative impact. And I stumble on like what would be a health coach, a holistic health coach, and I was like, oh man, like that sounds like that's right up my alley. Like, and you know, I found the Institute of Integrative Nutrition and I jumped on it. I said, oh man, maybe I could find the perfect diet and I'll no longer have fear around if I'm healthy or not, or like, you know, I could find the ultimate, you know, solution to this anxiety thing. And I thought I was gonna find like the perfect diet. Honestly, I was still kind of like looking for that. And you know, they kind of shared, hey, health is like a whole aspect thing. It's not just about the food. It has a lot to do with your lifestyle. You know, your lifestyle meaning the quality of your thoughts, the quality of your relationships, you know, your career focus. Everything has an impact on your well-being. And I started to realize, like, wow, there have been times in my life where I feel really good, and it's probably because I'm prioritizing like making healthy progress in these areas of my life, whether it's my job, my exercise, my social life, like my prayer life, my spiritual life, and probably the food that I'm eating too. Like if I eat like crap, I probably feel like crap. So just to make a long story short, just this introduction to a holistic point of view into my well-being helped me kind of have like a roadmap and at least like something to measure. Like, hey, if I'm feeling anxious, like what can I implement or what can I improve, instead of like kind of just being like a victim at that point. Like, oh man, I'm anxious and this anxiety has so much power over me. Like I don't know what to do. I can have an anxiety attack at any moment. So I started to like measure, okay, am I exercising? Am I getting fresh air? Am I getting sunlight? Am I drinking plenty of water? Am I eating fruits and vegetables? Am I around people that support me and make me feel positive? Am I devoted to, you know, my spiritual life as well? Am I in that walk with God? And it's natural and it's supernatural as well. You know, this is not to like discredit someone listening that is not a Christian, you know, but that is the path that I chose and I believe in 100%. But just tying in that spiritual part of it is like, I started to have all this breakthrough and all this understanding that I was putting all this weight on myself when I could really, I wasn't designed for it in the eyes of God. Like He designed us in His image, but for us to have a relationship with Him and just know that He's ultimately in control, like not us. But like tying all those things together, I mean, it was a big shift, a big learning lesson. And you know, today it's not that I'm immune to anxiety, but I have a lot of tools. I have a lot of understanding on if there is anxiety, it's coming from somewhere. It's not like this mysterious, like, oh my God, what, like I have no control, you know. And like I said before, like obviously God is ultimately in control, but there is like partially a role that we play in controlling the controllables and allowing God to take care of that which we can't control. I hope this video blessed you. Drop a commentary, let me know what you want to hear or what you liked. I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe, and see you on the next one. God bless you.